Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how I air dry my hair and get this kind of beachy, wavy, messy look that I'm really into, to be honest. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy it. It's something that I've been doing for probably 2 years, and I've kind of honed in on some of the best products to use, the best technique, just to go through this new haircut. So I actually tend to get a chop every couple of years. It's kind of my thing. I have done it probably since I was like 19. Oh, I remember we had a college exam and I had gotten it cut the night before, so it was like our finals in our first year of college, and I had like a jacket on and I took off my jacket and everyone was like because my hair was so long, it was probably down to here at the time, and I got it like bob, like this is long in comparison, like it was probably like here, and everyone was like, oh my god, what's happening? I think people have this perception when you get like a load of hair cut off that you're like in a period of change or like whatever it may be, but I just kind of like getting it cut every now and then and just changing up the look, you know? So it's not that short really. I think it looks shorter because it's really long layers, but yeah, I really like it. So yeah, if you want to see how I do it, keep watching. Okay, I washed my hair probably like an hour ago. I use a couple of different shampoos. It depends on my mood, to be honest. So the ones I use most frequently is the L'Oreal Elvive Extraordinary Clay. It's for oily roots and dry ends. I love this one because I find sometimes that even products, when they say they're oil free, it still doesn't really like cleanse my hair, and I've been using a lot of like clay masks and stuff, and so clay for your hair, it's just ideal. So I use these two together. I also use the conditioner. That's like my go-to day-to-day shampoo, the L'Oreal Elvive Extraordinary Clay, because I have oily hair. It's really annoying. I know I shouldn't like wish to have dry hair, but it just feels like it would just be a lot easier than having oily hair that looks gross after 24 hours. I also, for my oily hair, occasionally use this. It's the Neutrogena Tea Gel shampoo for greasy hair. I suffer from a little bit of psoriasis and I can get it like in my scalp and stuff. It's really irritating. So I actually at one stage was using tar shampoo a lot. Now that sounds horrific, I know, and it is, it stinks, but it really helps like soothe your scalp. So this one is supposed to be like an anti-dandruff shampoo, but basically I just find it really good for like soothing my scalp but also getting rid of the greasiness. So that's kind of like an occasional one. I might use that like once or twice a week depending on how my hair is feeling. I just go by my scalp, and if my scalp feels a little bit irritated, I'll use this. So I love this one. And then the third shampoo that I sometimes use is this. It is the Frieda Shear Blonde Highlight Activating Enhancing Shampoo. A little bit of a mouthful. So obviously I dyed my hair this year. I've had natural hair all my life until really this year, so I'm lucky that my root hair, like my natural hair, is still quite fair, but sometimes if I just want to kind of freshen up the color, I'll use a little bit of this. So that's probably only like once a week, to be honest. It's mostly the L'Oreal and maybe the Tea Gel, and then a little bit of this if I need to. I'm going to show you my new haircut now. So I've kind of just, I tend to just leave my hair in a towel for like a while, to be perfectly honest with you, probably like an hour. Sometimes it depends. So if I'm rushing to go to work, I will obviously like not leave it in a towel. Got quite a bit cut off. It was like down here and now it's up here. So then the next thing I do is I just brush it through with a paddle brush. This is like, I got this ages ago. I got this before I went traveling, and to be honest I don't love it, but I keep forgetting to buy a new one. But it helps that my hair is shorter now. I got so bad when I was traveling, especially when I was in Central America. I literally didn't brush my hair the entire time. Didn't do it. I wasn't bothered. I would get into the sea and I'd just come out and I'd leave my hair dry, and I'd shower, I'd just get out, I'd leave my hair dry naturally, wouldn't wear a brush through it. So it was starting to form dreads, to be honest. When I got home, it just needed a good condition and then it was fine. Not that there's anything wrong with dreads, obviously they just don't suit me. It's like so much faster to do my hair now with this short hair. My hair molts, like you should see how much hair is coming out of me right now. It just does. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, I'll have to clean that up in a second. There's a lot of hair there. So it's already like on its way to being dry from being in the towel. I don't rub it when it's in the towel. I don't do anything like that because you're gonna break your hair if you do that. I just leave it in the towel to dry off a little bit. So now that I've brushed it, I'm just gonna loosen it out so I can already feel it's like getting a lot drier, and it's gonna look crazy. Like, it's gonna look wild for a little bit, but we're gonna tame it now. My go-to product, I have spoken about this before. I don't know how many bottles of this I've gone through. Sit down here, jeez. We're just gonna let this do its thing for like a few minutes. This is my favorite hair product ever. It's the Wave Spray. I've used this solidly now for what, 2 years? Is it 2 years? I can't remember. I've used it for ages. Basically, since I've dyed my hair, I feel like this is better because it has an oil in it, so it just is better for like helping to keep my hair healthy. And when I was getting my hair cut, obviously the ends were a little bit draggly because I'm still getting used to using conditioner because I just had my natural hair color for so many years. I never really needed to use conditioner because it was in pretty good nick, but since dyeing it I've had to use conditioner and it's just not a habit I'm very used to. This conditioner is still pretty full, so I'm working on it. It has oil in it, so it just means that it's conditioning the hair a little bit more. So basically what I do, and I don't even know why I shake this every time, but I do every time I shake it, and it basically turns to bubbles. So basically I am super liberal with this. Like, I do not hold back. I'm just like, yep, get it into my hair. So I basically spray it all over the hair, like really just getting in there. I basically just popped a load of that in, and what I'm going to do now is I kind of just squeeze it in a little bit. And it's not even to give it body or volume or anything like that. It's really just to work it into the hair. And like my hair never, it looks different every time I air dry it because it just does its own thing, which I'm into, to be honest. So just, you know, let your hair be what it wants to be. And I'm all about that messy look, you know, that kind of undone bedhead. What is this, alfalfa here? Yeah, I'm all about like that messy bedhead look. So that is worked into my hair now. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to go about my day. Actually, we need to paint my nails. So I'm going to just leave that there to air dry for probably another half an hour, 40 minutes, and then we're gonna see what it's like. I try to dry it as much as I can with like a kind of middle part, even though I never wear a middle part, like it'll be all flung to one side, but just so that it kind of doesn't go too wild. So I'm gonna leave that for a little while. When it's a bit drier, I will come back and I will show you my next steps. Okay, so we are not 100% dry. This is about 30 minutes later. We're like 85%, I'd say. There's like little bits that just need to finish drying off, but it's more or less there. Okay, now it does look a little poofy, I will give you that. So what I do next is I move on to the Way Texturizing Hairspray. I talked about this in the previous video, and at the time my hair was obviously a lot longer and I was using it a little bit, but since I've cut my hair, and I realized it's only been like about a week, but no, probably less, but since I've cut my hair I've been using this nearly every day because it's just adding that little bit of texture to the hair to kind of define things a bit more. So you see that this is all kind of like one solid mass. When you add this and then you just leave it dry, that little extra bit, it just kind of defines it into like kind of rough, messy segments. I don't know if I'm describing this very well, but look, you'll see it. So I just work this into the hair. And since I've got it cut, I have kind of, like with my longer hair, I generally go for a middle part, but I feel like when it's cut, it's better when it's over to one side or the other. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Sprayed that in. And basically just what I start doing is like working my fingers through it and kind of like rubbing it in almost. And it sounds weird, but it just gives it a little bit more definition. You can see how like wavy my hair gets, and that's toned down, to be honest. This side always does like its own thing. I probably started air drying my hair properly like 2 summers ago, and a load of people say to me like, oh, I can never air dry my hair, like it will get way too frizzy, it will get way too poofy. And my response to that is my hair didn't start like air drying the way I wanted for a while. I'd say the first week or 2 when I was air drying my hair, it looked greasy, which I know is like not ideal, but I kind of just persisted with it and learned like different tricks. One thing I learned is to never not have product in it, so always put a product in it to like reduce that frizz. Like it looks kind of frizzy now, but this is going to go down over the next, I'd say, hour or 2, especially when I go outside. It just kind of relaxes a bit and it doesn't look as frizzy. Another thing I would say is if you have thick hair like I do, what I do when I get my hair cut is I get it cut properly, like just normal haircut. My aunt actually cuts my hair, so it's very handy. And then when it's fully dry, I get her to go into the bottoms and thin them out. So what that involves is like lifting the hair and basically like snipping into it so the ends are thin, because if I left it when it was just cut without thinning the ends, this would be like this right now. I would be a total triangle. Another thing is to just persevere with it. Like you almost need to train your hair to dry in certain ways. It's weird, like your hair just like gets used to it or something. So just adding a little volume up in here. I'm just going to run my fingers through it. And sometimes if I want to add more of the wave spray, I might add it like in the ends here. I'm not sure, I might leave it for now, but I can do that at this stage as well. And it's something that I find this hairstyle actually looks best when you do it the night before. So you wash your hair before you go to bed, you let it like mostly dry so you don't get like a cold, and you go to bed with your wet hair and put in the wave spray. And then when you wake up in the morning, it's got like a really good body and texture to it, and then you put in this hairspray to get it to hold. That is the best way. But I've been finding I've been washing my hair in the morning more so, and like walking to work because it's been so warm out, and then by the time I get to work it's like done, hair dry, ready to go. Also, my aunt, who I told you cuts my hair, she was saying the quality and the feel of my hair is just like amazing at the moment because of the air drying. So it's just like not using hair dryers or straighteners or curlers has just meant that my hair is just like so healthy, like insanely healthy. It's amazing. So I definitely highly recommend doing that. If you're struggling with your hair a little bit, it's a bit damaged, give your hair a break from hot tools for a little while. It'll take a while to get used to like the air drying situation, but once you do, you just like won't want to go back. I'm actually sad that it's gonna get to be like winter soon, because then I can't air dry anymore without like getting a horrific cold. So that is my hair. It's gonna change throughout the day. I might like check in at the end of the day. I'll see. I have like Pilates later on and I have stuff to do, so I'll see. I'll probably forget, but yeah, so this is how I air dry my hair. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe down in this box here below, and leave a comment down below if you have any other air drying techniques that I should check out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. This one because I suffer from big favorite. What? because of the air drying. Ooh, what's happening there? Just, I remember what do we have? I painted my nails and I've already like messed one up. You can subscribe down below here. Sorry, a little bit tongue-tied.